My name is Tave Kukhoff, and I am a person in long-term recovery. What that means for me is I am abstinent from all drugs and alcohol. I was an IV heroin user, but I am also in recovery from codependency and in recovery from trauma. Basically, just I am in recovery for creating a beautiful life. Whereas 4 years ago, it was not so beautiful. I also am I don't like to say victim because I don't believe I'm a victim, but from human trafficking as well. And the lifestyle that comes with all of it.
Yeah, but you're certainly a survivor of it.
Yes. Before I was arrested and before I got really deep into my addiction, I was a 4.0 grade average high school student. I was a real estate agent, went to beauty school, had a great relationship with my family, and it all went downhill super, super fast. In my 4 years of recovery, the direction and the growth and the change that has happened is kind of undescribable. I've really become the woman that I was always supposed to be and have really found myself and love myself, and I'm proud of myself for all that. When I went into recovery 4 years ago, I had really dug myself into a hole, which
Yeah.
most people in addiction do. I, didn't have a job, didn't have a roof over my head. I didn't have any money. I didn't have a car. My license was revoked. All of those things that kind of create a good life, I did not have. I
Mm.
didn't have the relationship with my family. My family wanted nothing to do with me. And I was essentially alone. But as I started to work a recovery program and actually try, because this was not my first time
Mm-hmm.
trying to find recovery,
Mm-hmm.
sort of kind of had a spiritual awakening in
Mm.
jail, like a
Okay.
big aha moment. It was just a slow process of digging myself out of that hole. But
Sure.
every single day it was, I will not give up, because every single day I was able to really, sit with myself and find peace with myself, which was the catalyst for change, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because
Yes.
ultimately the lack of self identity, lack of self awareness, lack of self esteem, and self love is really what drove me deep into my addiction and my codependency, which then put me into situations which, you know, were very traumatic. So when I went into treatment, I mean, I just went into treatment, like
Mm-hmm.
full blown went into treatment. I worked the program. It was a behavioral modification program, which is very intensive. But I also didn't want to go to prison.
Mm-hmm.
So that was also a good motivation factor to, keep doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started to really kind of learn about core issues and the different things that make up addiction and why you become addicted, and really started to get that educational piece to it, I could really relate myself to it, applied what I was learning to myself and using those as coping skills.
Mm-hmm.
In my life, I started getting happy. I was
Mm.
just happy because I was proud of myself.
Yeah.
you know I was
You,
changing and I
you
could
hadn't
see
felt that
it.
for a long time, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even when I had nothing,
Yeah.
that was probably one of the happiest times in my life,
Yeah.
because of just how content I was and how proud of myself I was for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I could look back to situations that I put myself in, or different feelings or different emotions, and be like, aha, that's why I acted that way. That's why I allowed that to happen.
Right.
That's why I did what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to figure out what aligned with me, because I knew that I needed to find my community. So I started to kind of research in my area, and that is where I met Tara Moreno with Serenity House of Flint,
Mm-hmm.
doing the holistic pathway. I reached out to her and I was like, listen, I want to come in full force. I am so ready for this. This is exactly where I need to be. And that's what I did, and I started my holistic healing journey, and everything just clicked. It was exactly what I needed for when I left treatment, because the beauty with the holistic pathway is that you get to make it your own.
Absolutely.
There is no big book to this is what you need to do and this is what's going to change your life. It's nope, you're going to be on your own self journey and you're going to pick what's right for you, and you are going to have to hold yourself accountable and do it. Even though you have community support, it's still your pathway.
You bet.
And for somebody with no self-esteem and lack of self-identity, it's literally what I needed. Because I was able to do things for myself and figure out what was right for me and what was wrong. So I started to really dive into that. And I was a recovery coach. I did recovery coaching for a while, for a couple of places, but I'm a very creative person. There was something missing on my career front. All my life, I have had these expectations put on me by family members and people I care about of where I should be in my life, what I should do with my life, what's good for me and what's not good for me. And I think that's where I rebelled a lot. I went back to school for aesthetics because I wanted to get back into the beauty industry and a life for myself doing that. And I was able to do that. I went back to school, got my esthetician license, got certified in lash extensions, and that's what I do on top of giving back to the community, doing holistic healing hours for the community. So this is really exciting. So it's brand new. My partner and I founded 513 Recovery Clubhouse. Okay. And essentially, it's prevention. It's a place that encompasses all pathways. I think as a community, recovery community as a whole, the one thing that we are missing is a safe place that gives programming and classes to a community in between going back into the real world. So you have treatment, you have incarceration, and then you have the real world.
Right. Pretty stark contrast. Yeah.
When you lose that, you no longer have your peer recovery coaches and your groups and your recovery people and all of that. And then you're over here like, okay, what do I do? I can't go to the bar. I can't, if I want to have fun, like, what do I do?
Right.
So 513 is essentially that bridge. And it will encompass all the pathways. So holistic, NA, AA, refuge, all of that. But it will also have like skill building classes too. Referring back to the hole that I had dug myself into. I mean, I had to get a birth certificate, a social security card. I had to get my license back. I had to do this. I was applying for jobs and had to build a resume and all of these things. And I'm one of the lucky ones that, knew how to do that without having any help. But I know that there's a bunch of people out there that don't have those resources, don't even know where to start. Their anxiety is so tough, like so hard on them that they don't even want to start. So we will essentially have the all pathways groups. We will have the life skills, like skill building classes, like resume building. We have like credit repair. Yeah. Importance of credit, all of those things that we're going to have to do as humans, and adults. So not only that, but we're going to have the fun nights too, where we have a pool table, which gives us a sense of normalcy. Right. But we're not going to do it with drugs and alcohol.